Well, hello everyone. Welcome back. And here we are in an L405 Range Rover, and oh my gosh, she's a good one. And this being the P400, we're equipped with a 3-litre turbocharged petrol engine producing 394 brake horsepower. And in true Range Rover style, it's absolutely silky smooth. And this is a little bit of a comparison for me between this and my L322. This P400 3-litre 6-cylinder engine is great. And with the HSE spec, obviously you get absolutely everything you'd ever need. Heads-up display, heated and cooled seats, sat-nav, Bluetooth, flappy paddle gearbox. The list goes on. Now this 3-litre turbocharged petrol engine it's a really torquey lump. 550 Newton meters of torque. I just prefer something like this to have a diesel engine in it. I think they fit better. I'm really not dissing the 3-litre turbocharged P400, but I just feel as though the TD-V8 was a groundbreaking engine to put in these things. Obviously here in the States, they love a petrol lump, and this P400 3-litre turbocharged really does fit this thing quite nicely. It's silky smooth, it packs a punch. But in my humble opinion, I just think these Range Rovers, they're just better with a diesel lump under the bonnet. I do genuinely like the shape of these things, and they handle really well. Feels all the same. Once you've been in a Range Rover, you've been in a Range Rover. Everything's very samey compared to the L322. The driving position's the same. You have this immense sense of security and safety and comfort. And it's just a beautiful place to sit. Now today the weather's vile, it's chucking it down. It's been stormy, we've had tons of rain. And what better vehicle to be in than this? It really is very quiet. It's quite a surreal sensation getting out of my TD-V8, flying 3,500 miles and getting in this. The question is, I don't know what you guys think, is this natural progression from an L322? Is it something that I should be getting into? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I really like the heads-up display in this thing. I've been in a few cars with heads-up displays, and they're always situated a little bit too high. This one's like a hologram just above the bonnet, and it's just in a perfect place where it doesn't take your eyes off the road, gives you all the information you need. Top job. Right, I think it's time for a sound test. Who wants to hear the 3-litre turbocharged P400? Let's give it a go. I think that sounds pretty impressive for a 3-litre turbo. It's one of those cars that you just get out of. You do about 10 to 15 steps forwards and you look back. See what I mean? I do it with mine too. Every car park, I'll lock it up, and then you just do the cheeky little over the shoulder. Look at it, it's amazing. such fantastic places to be, these cars. They really do take some beating. And it's quite a punchy engine when you want it to push on. 394 brake horsepower, 550 Newton meters of torque. Now the model I'm driving is a 2020 and it's super duper modern in here. Not quite what I'm used to inside of my relatively old Range Rover L322. A lot of touch screen going on. I'm getting slight anxiety with the lack of buttons in here. Everything on the steering wheel is a sort of touch screen thing. But aside from that, yep, typical Range Rover. Drives fabulously, comfortable, huge, relatively quick, super duper practical. I'm a bit of an L322 snob. I think the right model of L322 ticks all the boxes. So the question is, do we move up to a 405? Is it worth it? Is it worth the extra money? So, the question is, would you get out of an L322 and jump into an L405? Now, undoubtedly, these things are fantastic. Would I see myself in one? Absolutely. So, let's press on. And let's get down and dirty. Negatives with this car. We've touched on it before. Every car has them, especially Range Rovers. In my humble opinion, now I'm not a massive fan of everything that's touchscreen, but I think once you get to live with one, you get used to it sooner rather than later. Another negative for me is the drive dial that selects the drive. I just don't know why they would have got rid of the stick. It's such a cool feeling to engage drive with it. This twizzly knob thing, I'm just not a huge fan. Now, to adjust the mirrors, you've got a button on the side here, and it's quite hard to tell where you have to press to engage each mirror to change it. And it just seems a little bit overcomplicated. They just could have simplified things. Now, there's not many negatives. They're all little niggles I'm sure you get used to living with. But I just prefer the simplicity that the L322 brings. And that bit of road's bad. And that's why the L322, in my opinion, and in lots of other people's opinions, it's peak Range Rover. And I'm really not dissing this thing. I think it's absolutely fabulous. And I'd really like one, maybe one day. But for now, I think I'm going to stick with my L322. It's going to take some beating, that thing. Would I really go out and spend X amount on an L405? Probably not. I do absolutely love driving them. I think they're fantastic. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Is it worth the upgrade? Should I stick with an L322? Hope you've enjoyed this little comparison, this little journey we've been on. I've really enjoyed my time behind the wheel. It's been great to finally get into one and compare one against the other. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Adios.